Okay, how is everybody doing? Bargo here. We typically don't do spoiler content on this channel, right? We do predictions, etc. We just enjoyed Jump Festa 2023, where it was announced that we're getting a bunch of stuff. First off, One Piece anime is getting a remake. Egghead is ending in 2024. The voice actors for Egghead, and then we got a spoiler panel for the next chapter. And so, just want to let you guys know, if you don't want to be spoiled, it's just one page. But if you don't want to be spoiled, you can click away now. Come back after you read the chapter. It's one page, translated. They do that every year in Jump Festa. Sometimes I avoid it, sometimes I don't. This time I couldn't because I watched Jump Festa live. And so we're going to break down this panel and give some speculations as to what could happen in the next chapter 1102. So strap in, let's get into the live reaction / pseudo breakdown / prediction thing. So in this page, it starts off with Sabo talking to Dragon saying, Logtown, do you have any business there? And he says, it's nothing. Who's in charge of that area? That would be Captain Smoker. So first off here, this seems to be right before Logtown, so right before chapter 100. Dragon is telling Sabo that he has some business in Logtown. And of course, Smoker is there because Dragon stopped Smoker when he was about to do something to Luffy. So this is somewhat setting up those moments where Oda has the advantage of things that's already happened. So this is actually pretty cool, seeing things that transpired before an epic moment like that. The next panel, we see Jinbei and Ace. And here we have Ace showing Jinbei Luffy's bounty poster, his first bounty poster. And they're saying, yo, he beat Arlong? This guy beat Arlong? He's like, yeah, my brother. This is a really cool callback. We saw Jinbei and Ace in a previous chapter recently on Whitebeard's ship, and now we see them here again where Ace and Jinbei have such a relationship that he's showing him Luffy's bounty. Now it's really interesting. At this point, Jinbei's a warlord, Ace isn't. He declined it, and he's working under Whitebeard. So I did not know they had such a close relationship. Of course, when we get to Impel Down, we see some of the flashbacks with Ace and Jinbei. It's somewhat implied, or maybe it's just me, it made it seem like Jinbei and Ace, they got closer when they were imprisoned. Of course, they met before then because we know Ace and Jinbei, they fought for 5 days. But in that moment, it somewhat felt like they got closer while being there. And Ace asked Jinbei for help in regards to his brother, or just looking after his brother if something were to happen to him. This somewhat feels like a retcon, not gonna lie, but it's not. But it's showing that Ace and Jinbei, not this chapter alone, but previously, they had somewhat of an important relationship and that they were working together beforehand. So I really like this, not gonna lie. Really love Ace, you guys know this. Jinbei is one of my favorites as well. So seeing this and seeing them somewhat bond over Luffy, it makes a lot of sense why Jinbei was willing to risk so much. He took a magma fist to the chest for Luffy. And much more, right? He was holding it down. So shout out to this moment. I'm really loving this. The next panel, we see Kuma, and Kuma sees the bounty of not only Luffy, but seemingly Bonnie. Well, I'm assuming Bonnie because he has 2 bounty posters, and of course they're members of the worst generation. We don't know when Bonnie got her first bounty poster, but he's reacting to Luffy's bounty. It could just be Luffy's, but it makes sense for it to be Luffy's and Bonnie's, but he only mentioned Luffy, saying, I wonder what fate this is for your child to become a pirate. I would have loved to see Kuma reacting to Bonnie's poster, but we're not sure if it's even Bonnie's poster. This is setting up pre-time skip before some of these big names become big names. The next panel, we see Bonnie, and she's basically toasting to rules as a pirate because she's just become a pirate for the most part, and she's celebrating what it means to be a proper pirate. So she's setting down the rules. First off, they're only stealing what they desire, and it's only from bad guys. So one of the preconceived notions about One Piece is that there are more bad pirates than good pirates, and Kid accentuates that by being what he is, saying, I am dastardly and I don't really care because the Celestial Dragons are so terrible. I'm nothing. I'm just a drop in the hat in comparison to them. For Bonnie, she also has a moral code, right? We're only stealing from bad guys, but we're not rescuing anyone unless they're really needed. So we're seeing the lens of some good pirates out there. We know Law isn't a bad pirate. Luffy isn't a bad pirate. Seemingly Bonnie isn't a bad pirate at all. Drake isn't even a pirate. So I'm like, it's not confusing me. It's somewhat changing my perception of the One Piece world where seemingly maybe we have a lot of good pirates out there we don't know, but they put on this facade so that they don't seem weak. We know we have the Bellamy's and the Bartolomeos. They're out there. Bonnie's, people like that. At first glance, it's not easy to see, but she's a good pirate. But seeing her here, of course, like we know how old she is, so she's really a kid. It's such a childlike mentality where it's like, we're only stealing from bad guys, right? And we're pirates, so we can't rescue anyone unless they're really needed. I love it. This moment just is so great. Now, next, the final panel is Bonnie not knowing how to put on lipstick per se. She just puts it on in a way to look like an adult, and Gyo-Gyo, they're just looking at her, and then she's saying, without anything on my cheek, Daddy might not even recognize me. And so she's putting that piercing, that ring there, just so Kuma can recognize, hey, this is your daughter. And then she's saying, we're just gonna become famous so that he can notice me. So Bonnie's goal is clear here. She's becoming a pirate to become famous so Kuma can notice her, right? So now we see, for one of the supernova at least, the foundation of it, the beginning of it. And this is so epic. Now, so this is just one page from the next chapter. So what can we presume from this point going forward? Well, for me, I'm thinking the flashback ends next chapter for sure, because they're going to montage through, maybe not just only for Bonnie, but for some of the other supernova for the next chapter in regards to their journeys throughout, or the beginning of their journeys. So now I wonder if it goes all the way up to Sabaody, where we see Kuma's perspective from everything, or is it just a supernova chapter or a lot of the big names reacting to certain things? Because it's essentially a catch up from Kuma's perspective. So for Kuma, we know we had the Warlord stuff at Mary Joa. Then we had Kuma and Moria in Thriller Bark. Not directly after, but we had small moments in between. But we have to have Kuma in Thriller Bark for sure. We have to have Kuma again in Mary Joa. We have to have Kuma at Marineford. We have to have Kuma at Sabaody. And so we have to have these moments, those moments Doflamingo talked about, to somewhat catch us up in regards to where Kuma is now before we go back to Egghead, and where Oda hits us like a truck with a lot of the emotion. That's seemingly the path that it's going. The flashback could end this chapter, but now I think about it, it actually could go one more. I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the flashback, but it seems the consensus around the community is, okay, Oda, we get it. Kuma had a sad life. Can we move on? It is somewhat despicable because Kuma, yes, he's had a sad life. Guys, let's just bask in it, because once we get back to Egghead, it's just gonna be sad again, right? Because Kuma, he may die. He actually may die, because there is hope. We have a crazy theory out there about Kuma living and what he becomes after he lives, because his memories are still there, right? But what's the weight of a soul? Are memories the soul? Is he still alive even if he just has his memories, but there's essentially no soul left? But who knows? Who knows what could come of it? I'm super excited for the next chapter. Again, normally don't like reading spoilers, but one panel without really major spoilers, just giving us a quick flashback, I'm here for it. It was really dope. This is a great character moment, character chapter. I expect it to be a pretty good chapter going forward. Some people may be disappointed because we're not back at Egghead yet, but it could be just a short half of the chapter where we're getting flashback, and the next half we could go back to Egghead. Who knows? I know the Dragon stocks are down. People don't respect Dragon because he's not making moves. He's always just there sweating and asking questions. But come on, the guy, he's about to go to Loketown. But why is he going to Loketown? Why was he there initially? Those are the questions I'm asking. And Smoker, Oda has Smoker in the chapter. Does that mean Smoker is going to return really soon? And then for Kuma, is the other bounty Bonnie's? More than likely it is, right? But for Kuma, seeing Bonnie become a pirate but can't have any interaction, what is the feeling after this, right? We get the reaction to Luffy's bounty here. Maybe the next page we get the reaction to Bonnie's bounty. I think it is ironic that Kuma is saying, I wonder what fate this is, Dragon, for your child to become a pirate. Where it's like, well, your child became a pirate as well, right? So I wonder if we get that contrast in the next page. I don't know. It's driving me crazy, actually. I don't understand or know how people can read spoilers week after week, because this is driving me crazy, and have an actual panel with dialogue. With spoilers, apparently it's just like tidbits and just bits of pieces of information, and it's normally wrong, and you have that to go off of for the next few days before the chapter actually comes out. How do you do it? How do you endure it? This is driving me crazy, and the speculation is running me up the wall, guys. How do you... Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down. But guys, Jump Festa 2023, I'll say it was a success because it got me way back into One Piece. The remake, Egghead ending, who's gonna fight whom, and then of course our boy Smoker might be back. One of my favorite characters in One Piece, guys. Give me your thoughts. What do you think about this page? What do you think the chapter could be? What is your analysis? I think sometimes, I gotta say this now, the comments, the viewers don't get enough credit for how well they know the story just as much or even better than some YouTubers. And so shout out to you guys. There's a lot of stuff that you put in comments that I don't get time to respond to, but I see it and I appreciate it. So keep commenting. I'm going to try my best to comment more and respond more to you guys, because some of you guys are amazing, right? Some of you guys are actually like trash. Like, no offense, because some of the comments are like trash, but I appreciate it regardless. But some of you guys, man, the depth in which you think about some of these certain things, I'm like, whoa, what the heck? I didn't even think about that. You know, continue to drop your thoughts below. Who knows? Maybe Oda sees your comment and then you get invited to Jump Festa, and then all of a sudden you're presenting to the Straw Hats and you're running out like Iñaki and Jacob. And then, okay, that probably doesn't happen, but I appreciate it either way. Guys, enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you guys back here again pretty damn soon. Bye.